So I've made a couple videos on BRICS and some on cryptocurrency. Go to my profile to see those videos, but I'm going to address some questions in this and provide some updated context. The reality is you're just not going to shut the US out. You can't shut out the largest economy in the world. You can't shut out the US from trade with whatever attempts you were making with regard to BRICS. And the fact of the matter is the US is a top 3 trading partner with over 30 countries. And within those 30 countries are 4 BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, and China, up until the war in Ukraine, obviously, with regard to Russia. The US was a top 3 trading partner with them. South Africa, the only one not on that list. So none of those countries are going to just shut the US out completely and cause the US to collapse. It's just not going to happen. I mean, if you look at the list of trading partners for number 1 trading partner, it's Canada, Mexico, China, Japan, United Kingdom, Germany. And the list goes on. There's just not a way to shut the US out. So that's just not going to happen. Now, with regard to them creating a universal kind of cryptocurrency to usurp the US dollar and take the US down a peg, I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they have the stomach to do that internally, let alone create a cryptocurrency strong enough to unseat the dollar. The first reason is China uses the yuan in a manipulative status to maintain a trade advantage with countries that it exports to. China is by far an export-driven nation. It provides a lot of the end item assembly for things and components. A lot of things are assembled in China and shipped to other countries. For them to make that a profitable venture, they have to keep their currency within a specific band of the US dollar. And every day, the Chinese government comes out and says the yuan is this much. It is a manipulated currency. So that is where the yuan gets its value, is through a kind of pseudo peg to the dollar. It's not truly pegged to the dollar. It used to be, but they look at the dollar, they look at the euro and say, this is where it's at. And that's how they create an export trade advantage. It's a manipulated currency, and actually they've gotten in trouble for doing that. The second reason is I just don't think other countries have a stomach. Like Brazil, for instance, the largest investment bank in Brazil, and not only in Brazil, but the largest investment bank in Latin America, BTG Pactual, just came out with a dollar-backed stable coin that is a cryptocurrency-backed or cryptocurrency platform stablecoin that is backed by the US dollar. Again, the largest investment bank in the entirety of Latin America decided we're going to use crypto, but we're going to back it with the security of the US dollar. That is not moving away from the dollar. I've said in previous videos before that cryptocurrency has a place in the future with regard to its technology, but not the coins themselves. Bitcoin is like tulips. It's an investment. It's a gamble, frankly. And if you make money on it, good for you, but it is not replacing currency. It's not replacing the dollar. It's not replacing the euro. It's not replacing the yuan. The blockchain and the technology that comes with it can be very beneficial going forward, but as an enabler of things like the dollar and the euro. And we see this here where BTG Pactual, again, the largest investment bank in Latin America, based in Brazil, is dollarizing part of their equity to create simplicity, efficiency, and security for its clients to access the US dollar trade market. That's what they're doing. So even if they say these things, I don't think they're really serious about it, because China's not going to let go of the control of the yuan. And we're seeing other countries like Brazil create dollar-backed currencies to make trade more accessible. And this is all stuff that comes out in news. And this BTG Pactual new announcement came out on Tuesday, like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. This isn't like some old news or anything like that. It's a reality. And I think a lot of what we see in this dollar doom scenario is a lot of push by Russia and China to create trade chaos, to create uncertainty in the government of the United States. So people like Tucker Carlson come on and say the dollar hegemony. He doesn't use big words like that. So it'd be like the dollar is losing its power. despite the fact that the last time I watched Tucker Carlson talk about this a few days ago, the guest actually refuted Tucker Carlson, but he still kept the headline up and talked about how the dollar was being unseated by the yuan, which is fucking nonsense, or other currencies or crypto or whatever. And I feel like it's this Chinese-Russian behind the scenes push to try to undermine the political aspects of what we see as money with regard to the U.S. government, and not really show the people, which is what I'm doing, the realities of why the dollar is strong, why the dollar is still used, why countries like Brazil likely aren't going to go to universal currency because they are doing things to bolster the dollar. They're doing things because they don't necessarily trust the Beijing manipulated currency of the yuan, and China's not going to give that up. So that's just more context, and I'll add this to the BRICS file, and I'll keep pointing everyone to that when they bring up BRICS in my comments inevitably as the potential reason why the dollar is going to fail. It's not. It's just not in my lifetime.